Welcome back to the Robbins Business Show. Great to have you back again. Come on and join us. Robbins Business Show is all about creating your very best business ideas to help advise, create, influence, and cheer you on if you're in small business. And you may be doing great, you may be not doing so great, you may not even have a business, maybe you're just thinking about starting a business or getting into the market by buying a business or taking up on a franchise opportunity, whatever the case might be. We are here to help and encourage. And I'm the co-host, Bill Fox, and the other co-host, get this. This guy is thermogenic, scintillating, and sagacious, all comprehensively at the same time. Coach Robbins.
Mr. Bill, how are you?
Coach, every time he breathes, he's talking to somebody about small business people, or about small business, or giving a talk.
From 5 o'clock in the morning.
You never know what he's up to, but he has his pulse on small business, believe me.
Oh, yeah.
And today we're gonna take kind of a negative point of view. We're gonna tell you what not to do. Actually, more precisely, from an author, Rhonda Abrams, we're gonna pick up on seven key items that you need to stop doing immediately. Well, Coach, it's Thursday, so you can say, okay, I'll wait till Monday morning.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's okay with you.
That's okay.
Monday morning, I will take this list and I will either stop or I will begin stopping doing these nasty things.
Right.
And
everybody has their top 10 things to do, top 5
yeah,
things
to do.
Top 5. Well, we've got the top 7 things by Rhonda here that you shouldn't do.
And gonna stop, Coach, the first thing we're gonna do starting Monday morning, we're gonna stop doing payroll by hand, or even, with a bookkeeper, get an online payroll service, safer, cheaper, faster reports, good reports, tax handling, and so on and so forth. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 90% of what Rhonda says here, I agree with. The one caveat that I would say is you need to have, in today's world, something like QuickBooks, any one of their programs in the cloud, on your hard drive, whatever.
Right.
But it's also prudent to have a bookkeeper come in and make sure things are staying in line. Having a QuickBooks bookkeeper, not necessarily a CPA, come in and make sure you set it up right in the first place. Right. If you don't understand double entry bookkeeping, credit this, debit that, then it is a problem somewhat to set it up correctly in the first place. And every business is a little bit different. They're also mostly alike. So it's not a bad idea to get your program online, on your computer. You can access your numbers constantly, but get it set up with somebody who knows what they're doing in the beginning, and then maybe have that person come in once a month for an hour or two and make sure you're putting things in correctly. But you should be doing it yourself online, with an IT, proper IT, because you get a feel constantly for what's going on in your business. And one of the biggest mistakes, the second biggest mistake people make, which is why they fail in business, is they don't watch their numbers. They don't know what's going on. They're running their business based on their checkbook balance. And you know what I call that?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Hey, also, Coach, it's best use of time. You're going to talk about that off and on. What is the very best use of your time right this minute?
Yeah.
You know what the answer is? Find a customer.
Create a customer, exactly.
Or create a customer.
That's right. Create a customer, because that's your job.
Who is my customer? And where is he or she? How do I define them? How can I read? What channels am I using? I mean, all that stuff.
And how do I keep them?
That makes the business, makes it relevant, distinguishes it, creates cash flow.
Right.
I mean, but doing the payroll,
you know.
And there's no doubt about it. I mean, as a coach, people say, well, I'm doing the payroll. That's really important. Yes, it's yours. It's important for people to get paid. But pan that off onto a payroll service, and your business will run better.
I had a person call me many years ago and made an appointment and canceled at the last second, made an appointment to come see me, canceled at the last second, made an appointment, was canceling on the phone, and I said, let me talk to her. I said, why do you keep making an appointment? What do you need? Well, I have no time to run my business, and I'm just so busy, and it's growing, but I can't figure out how to. I said, well, why aren't you here? Why aren't you here so we can discuss this thing? She said, well, I can't get there today. I'm putting the labels on the packages. I mean, you can't make this up, you know? I said, you've got to just stick the label. She's not creating the labels. She's just putting them on the packages before they go out. I said, there's got to be somebody in the building that could do that. Because she had employees. It's not like she worked alone. But anyway, fine, empowerment, trust some people to do things.
Number 2, Coach, is going to be stop paying bills by check.
Well, I'm glad you finished that statement. Stop paying bills.
Save cost, stop missing deadlines, use auto pay if and when possible, use online bill payer service. Coach, what about this one?
Well, I agree with that. Again, anything you can do that will move the business forward, like creating customers, like creating new products, whatever it is, and marketing, of course, that's all marketing. Whatever you can do to continue to make the business move forward profitably, because a business is either moving forward or it's moving backward. There's no staying still. Is the best use of time. And to sit there writing out checks and signing checks and sending them out, I mean, you should make sure you watch every check that goes out. But there's so much technology available to people today to be able to just do it online. One of the caveats, of course, is make sure you've got the proper IT security. And too many small businesses aren't aware of the fact that they're not just attacking big businesses anymore.
Right.
Because the big businesses are spending the money and securing their information, their website and everything else. It's the small businesses that the hackers are now attacking because they're not paying as much attention to it. So make sure you pay attention to that, especially if all your banking information's online.
We're going to be talking again about that soon in another episode. But here's Coach again. He's talking about best use of time. And don't, you're a business owner, don't be insulted. Say, well, I'm running the business and I'm paying the bills. Don't be insulted. We're not trying to insult anybody.
No.
We're saying be efficient, make best use of your time, because bills can be paid by other means that are expeditious, accurate, and if you take the right steps, secure.
And I'm not saying abdication. I'm just saying have other people, empower other people to do the things that can be done by rote.
Right.
And then you, as the king or queen, make sure you do look to see that things are being done. I'm not saying just pass it off to somebody and never look at it.
Right.
You still are in control of your planning, organizing, staffing, leading, controlling. You still need to maintain control.
Right.
But geez, you don't have to sit there doing and put the labels on the fish, really?
Here's another one I want to ask you about. This one is stop mixing personal and business expenses. Interweaving personal business expenses, separate checking, separate credit cards, or whatever. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I mean, people say to me, well, I'm just a sole proprietor and there's no need for me to separate them. Yes, there is. There's a big need, because the business is the business and you're you. And I mean, it's your money. If you're a sole proprietor, it's your money. You can take it out and take $2,000 and put it in your personal account. But just keep track of what's going on with the business. I want to tell you something. What I see is people usually don't miss the check that comes in from the customer and is deposited into an account. What they miss are all the potential expenses that when they're paying and they're buying, software and they're buying paper and toilet paper for the bathroom, it just gets lost and you're missing deductions and you've got a separate checking account for the business. They do it when it's an LLC, an S corporation, or a partnership, of course. The partners open a separate checking account. But when it's a sole proprietor, you still should have a separate checking account
Yeah.
where you can clearly write checks to yourself, that's your money, to the supplier who sent you the envelopes or whatever, to the supplier who sent you the products that you're buying, to be able to write an expense check out of there because you drove 100 miles on business and you kept a record of it,
Right.
and you got your 54-cent a mile deduction. It's $54.
Yeah.
You know, keep it separate. Business is the business, even though you're sole proprietor, and you're you.
That detail mileage, that has to be, tax-wise, that's separate. You separate business travel from
Personal.
vacation or personal.
That's right. If you leave, your office and you go to visit a customer, and then you come back and you've traveled, 50 miles to see that customer from your office, you can get a tax deduction for that.
Right.
But if you don't keep a record of it, and actually, it goes away, it goes someplace.
Keep all, and every day, every hour, every day, every minute, keep receipts
Yes, oh,
for
absolutely.
everything.
Well, another thing, not that it will happen to too many small businesses, although it happens more than you want. If the IRS comes in and they want to audit you, fine, there's the business.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have a right to your personal stuff.
Yeah.
You've got the business, it's separate, they have a right to audit that, unless they're going to audit you personally.
Here's one, we're switching away from the money part to, we want to ask you to stop using social media as a distraction. Set up 30 to 60 minutes, let's say, just as a suggestion. Do it, and then get on with business. Today, social media today it's forced its way into our lives.
Oh,
it's their website,
It's an
social
addiction.
media,
Yeah.
business directories. The computer is here. Okay, and then social media, you have, if you are making use, which is fine, of things like Facebook and
Oh, you
Twitter
should be,
or
yeah.
Instagram, all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff, fine. But you've got to control yourself. And this, Rhonda here is suggesting, discipline yourself by setting a time. Do you agree with what she's saying?
Did you read my
Oh,
notes?
discipline, yeah.
Discipline. It's
Right.
all about discipline. It's like anything else. You say to yourself, okay, I am going to post to my Facebook site, or I'm going to send out a blog every Wednesday morning, every Tuesday and Thursday morning, whatever it is. It's part of what you're doing to run your company. It shouldn't be willy-nilly. It shouldn't be, because then you're on it 18 times a day and wasting a lot of time, and the discipline, I think, is the key that says, look, every Tuesday morning from 8 to 9 and Thursday morning 8 to 9, I'm going to sit, I'm going to create some content, I'm going to get it out there, I'm going to do what I can with my social network marketing. Discipline.
Also, it's on a I have a recommendation, which is to, I'm thinking about a local, community college, is go to class about, social media or,
yeah.
Websites or social media and that kind of a stuff. Don't just, it's easy, just go on the computer and start messing around with it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so forth. Find a class, local class, and go to it. Take the time to do that. That's
Really
a personal
should.
recommendation.
It's something you really need to learn how to do, because
And then have a
this is the
discipline.
21st century, and social networking and marketing particularly it's a whole new,
Whole
ball
new deal.
game. A whole new game out there, yep. Got to be done.
Here's another, can we hit you on another discipline issue?
Yeah,
Another discipline is stop using email all day long. Discipline yourself once every, check email, once every 1 or 2 hours. Thing is, the discipline has been made greatly difficult because you now have the handheld computer.
right. This thing is
And it's
addictive.
right there, and it's so, the kids do it, such that it's almost a social disease, but.
It is oh no, it's not almost. It is a social disease now. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I mean, and I was watching something, I think it was 60 Minutes, where they do things to make this thing addictive.
Yeah.
So that you're using, wasting a lot of time with it, constantly looking at it, constantly back and forth. I know of people who, I'll send an email to, right?
Right,
And I'll get a response right away.
yeah,
But I didn't know it because I turned off my computer and I have other things to do with my life than sit there with
Right.
looking at my iPhone or my iPad. I'll answer them, at noontime, and they expected an answer, 3 hours ago. Oh, I sent you this at 9 o'clock. Well, what do you think you want to talk to me? I just want to tell you, and I tell my students all the time at the college, do you realize this is also a phone? That it is. You can actually make a telephone call with this sucker. You don't have to just text or type and you would make your thumbs worn out.
Right.
If it's really time sensitive, pick it up and call me.
I think one thing about the checking emails, I heard an anecdote the other day. Someone who went on vacation and went away for a week, and went to one of those bucket list things. Went to a remote location. Couldn't use the smartphone.
No tower.
Yeah, no tower. That guy was in agony. It's like he had a disease. I mean,
Yeah.
he was really writhing in agony.
So much for his vacation.
He got back the next week, and immediately glommed onto his email and found one that would have demanded, a fast
Immediate response, yeah.
All the rest were,
I'm going on vacation next week, right?
okay.
I put my vacation notice on my reply on my website. I'm not going to be answering emails. Don't send me an email at 5:30 in the morning and expect an answer back in 10 minutes,
right.
all right? Because I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to look at it.
This is an interesting one. I know this is right in the middle of your wheelhouse, Coach. Is
Oh boy.
Stop micromanaging your employees. There's such a thing as training. There's such
Yeah.
a thing as
Empowerment.
meetings, update meetings. If that can be, a meeting can be 5 minutes. Sure, it can be an hour. It can be 5 minutes.
Can be 5 minutes
It
and
could
be
be on the
effective. It
phone.
could be an hour and a waste of time.
It can be on that phone if necessary.
Sure, I like a phone call.
But anyway, Coach, micromanaging. This is one of your favorites.
Here's what I recommend. If you have a really good employee, all right, and they're doing a great job, okay, I think you should micromanage the heck out of them and get them to quit even faster, because you'll drive them nuts, okay? You will drive good employees away, all right? Now, I understand that there are employees and there are situations for almost every employee that requires you as the owner or the manager of that business to do the managing, to do the control piece, to inform them that something is done well. It's also nice to tell people they're doing a good job, which is something that could do 4 shows about that. That's not done correctly. But to micromanage and to pick on every little thing and look over their shoulders and make sure, then you're either a bad manager or you got a bad employee, and you're going to have to get rid of that employee. There's somebody out there that you cannot trust and check and verify. It's kind of like what Reagan said when he was asked, do you trust that the Russians are destroying those missiles, those warheads? He says, of course I trust them, but I'll verify anyway, all right? Well, you do the same thing with an employee. You would trust an employee to do their job and do it well, and you verify anyway. But you don't need to be verifying every hour on the hour either. That's micromanaging. But like I say, you do that, you're going to lose all your good people.
And training, I know that, businesses, small, doesn't matter, small, medium, large, it doesn't matter. Businesses cheat on training,
Yeah, they make a big mistake by not giving the people the training that they need. I love working for the university, of course, because we're required to have 40 hours of CEUs training every year. I wind up with 200 because, I'm voracious in that way. But, yeah, I mean, things change. Did you notice things are changing at a much more rapid pace in today's world, too, by the way? And you got to keep up to speed here. Talk about social networking and everything else. I mean,
you gotta,
train your people.
It's it's not a simple subject, training, say, as a business owner, you're saying, someone's in training, not doing any work and no money coming in. I mean, that's no doubt about that. I understand that
That's
perfectly.
an investment in your
But you
business.
got to think, you got to think of it that way.
Investment. I have in a situation, I went into this company that I've done a lot of business with, and I was waiting to see the manager, and just then the manager came out of his office, said, "Hi, Cliff," walked by me, knowing I wanted to talk to him. I had an appointment at that time.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything, "Excuse me, I'll be right," nothing, just kind of, "Hey, Cliff," walked right by me, went and did some inconsequential thing, and then came back and said, "Oh, okay, you're here for, No, he totally mishandled it. Obviously, he's not trained. He's a good guy, just not trained well to say, you know what he did, and I don't want to describe it, was incidental. It didn't have to be done. Customer's standing right there in front of you. I think the customer takes preference. "Oh, good morning. Hey, you're here. Oh, come on in. Let me get this for you. Let me collect my money from you, and let you buy this thing.
Right.
I'll go fix that other, light bulb later." Whatever the hell it was he did. So, I mean, you can see it. I see it constantly. People aren't trained properly to do their jobs, most especially in the small businesses, because, like you say, they don't know enough to train them to do things well. Retail, for instance, people don't know how to handle customers in a retail environment.
Well, it's not just the technical requirements of the job, it's the attitude, create that culture of the business.
Culture is the right word.
The idea of
Right.
that business and its impact on the
Right.
customer to make the customer experience better. So,
Invest in your employees, because they're going to be in touch with your customers, especially, make sure that they know how to do the thing correctly.
right.
And you know what? Probably the owner of the place doesn't know how to do it, so what are you gonna do?
And this is, I guess you call this on a personal note, Coach, is we're going to advise you to stop working 24/7, 52 weeks. Take a break. Take time to think. I mean, take a vacation. You've heard people work 40 years and no vacation, unless we hear about that. Coach, what's your take on that?
You're no good. You're no good after, a lot of whatever period of time, 24/7 for 52 weeks, a year and a half into it. You're not at your top. You're not at your peak. You need to relax. You need separation from the anxieties that you do. I mean, I know I've been in small business and there's anxieties involved with it. You're going to be thinking about it anyway, but geez, it's Saturday, it's Sunday. Take some time off, take a vacation, get away from it. Don't read your email. Put the email response in there that I'm gone. Don't expect me to call you. Don't expect a response to this email in 5 minutes. I don't say that. I just say, I will be gone from this date to this date and will not have access to my phone or email. I will be back on that date.
Yeah.
And so you can expect that when I get back, I do book the first morning back to catch up with all the things that I did miss, but I get away from it. I need to do it because I need to recharge my battery.
Were there any items that stopped doing stuff that were on your mind that are not on our list this morning?
I think the one I have a challenge with is stop looking at email overly consistently.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. And I will have a problem next week not checking my email.
Yeah.
I will be honest with you, probably by Tuesday, I will glance at it. I know me. I know what I'm going to do. I can sit here and tell you folks, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to look at my email. I will glance at it just in case there's an emergency, But, I mean, I have instructions on my answer. If this is an emergency, to contact my client services coordinator, and she knows if it's the type of emergency that requires attention, she can call me, certainly, and if I see her call me then. So there's no real need for me even on Tuesday to really look at it, but I'll probably glance at it. I'm guilty, I'm sure I will. But what I try to do is not look at it constantly. I mean, like the texting. I mean, the phone's, in my pocket, it's in my jacket, it's hanging in the closet, whatever. I mean, call me. The phone will ring. But when it texts me and you expect a response, or especially when I'm driving, you want me to read my text while I'm driving and answer? I mean, come on, really? It's misused. The bandwidth is misunderstood of email and text. It is a telephone, if it's that important call.
There's one thing I wanted to add is stop ignoring security on your computers. The computer is
That's a huge issue.
Computer is built into our business, and you can't get away from it. And there is such thing as security. Wait a minute, security is a big word. I was talking to a small business owner the other day. Had a laptop computer, no backup, not even simple backup.
Not even a
Nothing.
dongle. Yeah.
So I told him, I said, you get in your automobile and you go down to Staples and you get a hard drive.
Yep. Back everything up.
And bring it back, and then I plugged it in the thing and backed up his stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, that's security. That's one thing about
Well,
security.
securing your own information for yourself in
Sure.
case it crashes, but
That's right.
online security.
But online security, another
Huge.
issue. But my thing is stop ignoring that. That is vital. The clock is ticking. It's only time between now and when you're gonna have a really difficult issue.
Absolutely. And you think sending a check is secure? I have a company that sent a check,
Yeah.
and when they were doing the reconciling of their checkbook,
Yeah.
somebody apparently printed a check, right? Actually printed, it's not that hard to print a check,
Yeah.
with their bank numbers on it, and then paid for something,
Yeah.
and it went through their checking account. So
Yeah.
you would think, well, I sent a paper check, how can that be stolen? Guess what, it was. Okay?
Right.
So you think it's, there are thieves out there. You gotta protect
they're
yourself.
bad guys.
I mean, there are bad guys everywhere.
Anyway, we gotta end this episode. Been great to be with you. Come back again, Fox Robbins Business Show, and if you would like, you can send us an email, send suggestions or comments to foxrobbins@gmail.com. And any comments, keep it clean and friendly.
Oh, yeah, well, they always are, I always say that. We always clean and friendly.
And
Good group.
we're gonna see you guys the next time.